Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Investor Fuel podcast. I'm your host, Michelle Kesil, and today I'm joined by someone I've been looking forward to chatting with, Eugene Byass, who's been making serious moves in the real estate space and the credit space. So we're really excited to have you here. I think our listeners are really going to take something away from how you're approaching working with people who have less than perfect credit and getting them into their dream homes and helping them really refinance things. So I'm excited to chat with you, and yeah, let's dive in.
Sure. Good afternoon. Thank you for having me, Michelle. I love to be here. I love to help the community at large. I'm a national mortgage loan officer that lends throughout all 50 states. So I'm not limited into where we can lend. So anyone in any 50 states that hear my voice that's interested can contact me at 866-362-2711 or visit us at www.amerifincorp.com.
Awesome. So first off, for people who may not be familiar with your world yet, we would love to know the short version of your main focus these days.
Okay. Well, the short version of my main focus is to educate and get people into the home ownership. As you know, across the country, rent prices are out the window, and it's even higher. In most cases, it's higher than rent in the local area. So, getting people onto the home ownership ladder is our key focus at this point in time.
Yeah. And what is your main tool or strategy to get people into that home ownership?
By educating them and letting them know what they qualify for and what they can do, or if there's any adjustments they need to make to their credit. They may have some delinquencies or some late payments. Let them know what kind of programs are out there, down payment assistance programs, closing cost programs, grants that are available in different areas, things like seller concessions that they can get from the buyer that they don't typically hear about or know about. That helps them with costs, even though they may have little money or some money, but they think they don't have all the money to continue in the process.
Yeah, absolutely. So what caught my attention about you was the way that you've been able to really help the people that are looking to refinance their properties. And what do you feel has been the key to keeping that running smoothly?
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
Well, the key in that is a lot of people they would pay their mortgage, but something falls short. So the credit card would fall short, or they have a second mortgage, or they had a down payment assistance program that did not allow or did not offer a forgiveness. Yeah, so those people would generally fall short. We have multiple programs, we have access to multiple programs that would help with that and not look at it as a mortgage late. Most companies on the high street, as it would be, the Chase, the Bank of America, and Citibank, the high street bank, they would look at it as a mortgage late. There are lenders out there that doesn't look at those things or consider mortgage lates within the past 12 months because of the down payment assistance, because most people would pay the first mortgage and it's so high as it is. So we try to roll them out of that, refinance them, cover the debt, pay off the debt, so that payment is no longer a requirement and no longer bears any bearing on them to get taken care of. So they get a little freedom, financial freedom, with what needs to be done and what they're doing.
Yeah, can you expand on how those people are able to achieve financial freedom?
Well, they're able to achieve financial freedom because with interest rates going down, we try to put them into an interest rate so they get a lower rate. Lower rate means lower payment. And then there's also, most people are familiar with a 30-year mortgage or a 15-year mortgage, but there's a 40-year mortgage. So we can stretch the term out an extra 10 years to lower the payment. So there's options out there that's available to lower the payments so that they can have better resources for their day-to-day living.
Yeah, that's super important. Now, I know that every operator also had a moment where things got real. Maybe you had a deal that went sideways or a moment where you had to pivot fast. Would you be able to share one of those moments for you?
Yes. Well, one of those moments is where the deal went sideways is that the borrower didn't understand that the monies in the bank was used as reserve, was being used for reserve. So when we went to close, even though we have the down payment assistance program and we have assistance towards closing from the sellers or a grant, however we acquire the closing cost, some banks require reserves. Okay, you need to have 3 months reserve or 6 months reserve. We use that money that you have in your account as the reserve. The client would in return think that that money is money for them to pay for the appraisal or for the home inspection, the fees that they need to acquire the mortgage, or they take money out to pay for the credit report. Or they use the money to pay off credit card bills, because they feel when they own the house, they need to pay off the credit card bill because they won't be able to afford the credit card bill. And that would affect their debt to income ratio. And once the ratios are affected, then we have a different problem so that we have to resolve. So there are different things that we have to look at and make sure that the client is aware of and not do that cause the deal to go sideways. Because you only know that when you get a clear to close. You're waiting for the clear to close and it's not coming simply because the numbers are not right.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
So that's one way that the loan would go sideways. The next way where we find the loan going sideways is that a lot of people, when it comes to the monies, and it's always money that make the loan go sideways, they tend to want to borrow money to meet their commitment, and that's not always the right thing to do, because that money has to be taken into consideration. It's a loan; it has to be paid back. That loan is taken into consideration when we're doing the loan at the same time. So again, that would increase your debt to income ratio, because that's a debt that has to be paid.
Yeah, that's important.
That kind of stuff, they go and take out a credit card. Oh, I got good credit. I go and take out a credit card. A credit card is a loan. I spend off of that credit card. I'm creating a loan that has to be repaid.
Yeah. And how do you help clients that have these problems? How do you mitigate that risk for them?
Well, one of the things that we do, if they're going to open up a credit card, one of the things we do is close the credit card and show proof that we close the credit card. If they have a loan outside, they go and take a loan. What we try to do is get them to satisfy that loan before we close. Get a satisfaction on the loan before we close, because knowing we could go forward with that open debt against their record.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's how we typically would work, something like that.
Awesome. Yeah, that's the kind of stuff people don't talk about enough. So it's really important that you shared it. So let me ask you this. What are you most focused on solving or scaling next?
What I'm most solving. Okay. For me, I want to solve the problem where multiple people are living in the house. They're not comfortable. They're not happy as a family. They don't have that extra space to live in as a family, because they so many of them have to live together in order to make that rent payment, to meet their utility bills. So what we're finding in the industry that people are, we find in the industry that people are consolidating and moving together in order to do that and maintain that. Okay, so in order to make that work, we're finding that a number of people are coming together to pool their resources. And when they come together to pool their resources, they're not able to live comfortably like they want to previously. Okay, so by doing the home ownership, we get to help them to accomplish that goal, because they get more of a financial resources. They use less of the financial resources in order to get a good living, and that's what we're looking to do.
Awesome. And let me ask you, what's the next big goal for you?
The next big goal for me is to be able to have more people into the home ownership network, to have more people not just owning their own home, but at the same time being able to keep and maintain that investment. I'm a true believer. There's only two big investments you make in your life. One is where you sleep at night. The next one is into your family. And I'm on both sides of the spectrum to put those things in place and make sure that people accomplish that goal. Because it's very important that families are together, and not just being together, but are happy together. So
Mhm.
in order to do that is combining resources,
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
And being able to have that relaxation, understanding that we have these things together, that we can accomplish our goal as a family moving forward.
Awesome. And what's your strategy for helping those families?
Well, my strategy of helping those families is like our podcast today, where I get the word out. I join different groups, get on different podcasts, have different dialogues. We use Facebook, we use LinkedIn, we use YouTube. I'm sorry, I'm getting old. We use a YouTube channel. We try to get the word out there so people to understand that this is what is being done to make an impact in society, not just in our community, but in society. So that people can understand. And my colleagues in business, there may be things that they know that I don't know. We can dialogue on it. There may be things that I know that they don't know, that we can dialogue on it. Like some things like structuring a file. Instead of giving a client a denial, why not structure the file? Why not sit with that client, work on their credit, help them build their credit, tell them, instead of giving a flat out denial. And this is one of the things make I get into the financial world, is that I hate denials. When I see a denial, I get very upset, because we understand you get denied. Great. Why you got denied? Great. How do we fix it? How do we correct it so that denial can go away? So the next time we get to that point, we can move it forward, if you understand what I'm saying. You know what I mean? How do we change it? Okay, I got 5 credit cards, yeah? I'll give you for instance. I got 5 credit cards, yeah? Everybody said I need trade lines. I got 3 trade lines. I got 5 trade lines. Why is there a problem? No one understands that if you spend over 40% of your available credit on your credit report, it affects your score in a negative way. So, but I'm paying the credit card. So what if I use 100%? I'm paying them every month. Well, no, you're paying them every month, but you're at risk, because you use all the money on the credit card. You didn't do the 50-50. Now, most people going in will say, do 50-50. I like 60-40. Okay? I like 60-40, so I have that extra cushion in case something happens. Because, let me show you, life happens. What if something happened in 1 month, you're late paying? There's things like loss of job, there is inflation, there's so many different things that can happen. Do you have the savings with that cushion to say, okay, I'm going to make that payment on time? You understand what I'm saying? But if you stay within that 40% window, even if the lender rolls the payment into the next month, you still didn't hit that 50% threshold because you had a bad month that 1 month. So you're still within the guidelines to accomplish the goal of keeping your credit score at a certain level. And I think that's most important, keeping the credit score bankable.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing. That's stuff people don't talk about enough, and it's very important.
It is. It's very important, When you look at how many people I asked the question, I had a young man, 23 years old, went into the Navy, Everyone would say to me that he haven't worked for 2 years. He's not bankable. I say, no, I totally disagree. I was able to use his military contract and get him a mortgage in 9 months of being in the military. 9 months. He became a homeowner. His first job, being in the military. Of course, he was an officer in the military, but he's in the military. He didn't have a year in. He don't have a year working experience. But because I was able to use his military contract and get him a VA loan, under normal circumstances, he was denied. Okay? But again, it comes from learning the programs, knowing the program, understanding the rules and the regs on the program, and applying it and holding the banks accountable. I hold the lenders accountable all the time. I had another client where he got denied because he only had a year and 3 months of employment. Okay, a year and 3 months of employment. He saw a house he wanted to buy. They told him no. What are the complementing factors? No one look at the complementing factor. The broker tell him no, he can't buy. He don't have 2 years of employment. Now this is a 50-year-old man. What did he do for 50 years? No one got into the whole thing. Okay? He worked for 40 years of the 50 years. He gave a company 36 years. He has a good life savings. You know what I mean? He have a life insurance. He have an IRA. They're complementing factors that make him were able to get back on the housing market and buy at age 50 after just a year and 3 months of working. But if you go with a general consensus, you need to have 24 months of consistent employment. That is not true. You need to look at the programs and understand what the programs are requiring. There's other things, if you dig deep and meet with the clients and understand their needs and what they have. Some people are non-traditional borrowers, And that's what my business are here for, to help the non-traditional borrowers. You have any issues out there, I have a lender that can solve that issue for you. There are lenders out there, and they have their sweet spots, they like their flavor. You may go a quarter of a basis point, an eighth of a basis point, 2 basis points. Regardless of what it is, you'll become a homeowner. You can refinance when your credit situation gets better in the next 3 to 5 years. During the pandemic, nobody wasn't buying. I thought it was wrong because interest rate was between 2 and 3%. I got my mortgage at 2.99% during the pandemic. I still bought. I'm enjoying it. Now, people who did not buy because of the pandemic, they are at the mercies of 5, 6, 7, 8% interest rate in these markets today. It's a time of uncertainty. So you have to jump in at the right time and be able to make it work for you. And that's what I try to stress to my customers. Is it the right time for you? We don't know that until we sit down and I understand what your financial DNA is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah. That's such important information. So, yeah, thank you for sharing that. And let me just ask you this. A lot of people listening to the show are early in their journey or looking to level up. And they would benefit from hearing this, that when it comes to relationships and growing your network, what has made the biggest difference for you?
Okay. Well, I would tell you, relationships and growing my network is being part of the appropriate groups based on what your flavor, your taste is, where your goals would like to be. Okay? I am an extrovert, unfortunately, and I meet people and I practice a 3-foot rule. As long as you're within 3 feet of me, you must have my business card. If you're within 3 feet of me and you don't have my contact information and my business card, I failed myself. Okay, that's rule number 1. Rule number 2 is I'm always a good listener. I listen, okay, to what is being said. I listen to what is being delivered because I like to have the facts as it's presented. Okay, I don't want to miss anything along the way. So when someone is speaking, I listen. So I get the facts. Now, everything is not a takeaway. Everything is not a big takeaway, but it is the facts of the matter. So I like to look at the quirks of the conversation and know where we're going with it. The most important thing for me is I do a lot of reading. Okay? And I am on Facebook. I am on multiple groups on Facebook. I read a lot of trends on Facebook. I listen to a lot of rebuttals on Facebook. And then I go and I do my own research to see where they're at. Twitter, I am on the gram, but I don't do much on the gram in terms of that. But I do a lot of research to find out where things are and where you need to be, you know. No one gives you the whole story. Your situation is different from the next person's situation. So the requirements for the next person is different from you, you know. So I like to be in the know and be in the flavor of it. So that's
Oh,
why
yeah.
I ask questions. I like asking questions to know where we are and where things are going.
Amazing. All right. So before we wrap up, if someone wants to reach out to you, connect to you, learn more about what you're doing, where is the best way for them to reach you?
Okay, well, if they want to contact me by phone, it's 866-362-2711. They can reach me there. My website is amerifincorp.com. Yeah. They can also email me at contact@amerifin.com. But most importantly, I will tell all our listening audience to Facebook group, Let's Learn Money. I'm on there. I'm always sharing. I'm always teaching. I'm always bringing on special guests. I'm always on shows like yours. And it's on there. Let's, L-E-T apostrophe S, Learn Money on the Facebook group. Join that group. A lot of good information. All the changes in the financial industry is always posted up there. I'm always talking about it. And you can get to learn stuff. And you can ask me questions up there from time to time. And I respond to all questions, get a response.
Perfect. Well, I appreciate your time, your story, and your perspective. We're excited to have people like you in this space doing things in this right way. So thank you for being here.
You're welcome.
Yeah. And for
Thank you for
those of
having
you,
me.
yeah. So for those of you tuning in, if you got value, make sure you're subscribed to the show. We've got more conversations coming with operators just like Eugene who are out here building real businesses. And we'll see you all on the next episode.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.